Hi, welcome to our channel. Today I'll be reading an episode called Bluey Perfect. This is part 2 of our Father's Day Read Aloud celebration. Do not forget to show your dad how much you care by leaving a like and a comment below, telling him how much you appreciate him. Also, stick around until the end of the video for a special treat just for dads. Let's start our story. It was a bright and chirpy morning at the Healer house. Birds were singing, and the sun peeked cheerfully through the curtains. Bingo. Today's the day, Bluey whispered excitedly. Father's Day, Bingo yawned sleepily. Uh-huh. Let's make it perfect for Dad, Bluey said with a determined nod.
So the girls tiptoed through the hallway in their pajamas,
Holding a crumpled piece of paper labeled Father's Day Plan by Bluey. When they got to the kitchen, Mom was busy sipping her tea. And so Bluey and Bingo got to work on their art project, while Mum flipped fluffy pancakes on the stove. Bluey cracked an egg into a bowl. Uh-oh, that one was a bit sloppy, she muttered. Don't worry, sis, Bingo reassured her. Still have plenty of time to make the perfect Father's Day. Soon enough, the delicious smell of bacon and pancakes wafted through the house, rousing Dad from his sleep. Time for breakfast, sleepyhead, Mum said with a nudge. Now Dad yawned and stretched before joining them in the kitchen. Morning, my loves, he said, showering them with kisses. Hey! The girls squealed with delight as he lifted them up one by one. Then it was time to dig into the feast. Ew, this looks yummy, Dad said, eyeing the stack of pancakes. He dug in with gusto, occasionally glancing at the lopsided card tucked into his plate. This is good, he said between bites. But when he bit into a second pancake, something crunched between his teeth. Whoa, that sounded sorry, he said, spitting out a shell. The girls gasped. No, Bluey cried. That's not perfect. Dad chuckled. It is to me, he said with a wink. Bluey couldn't help but smile back. He might like surprises, but there was still plenty of time to make his day perfect. After breakfast, the girls pulled out their crayons and glitter. What should we draw? Bingo asked, twisting her crayon. A picture of Dad doing something awesome, like juggling wombats, Bluey suggested. He doesn't juggle wombats, Bingo pointed out. Well, he could, Bluey insisted. It's Father's Day. So Bluey drew a bold caricature of Dad as a circus performer, complete with a wobbly tightrope and 3 rather confused-looking wombats. She carefully glued on some sparkly stars for extra flair. There, she announced proudly, that's perfect. Dad beamed at the card. Thanks, girls, he said, hugging them both. This is going to be a great Father's Day. Next on the agenda was their backyard adventure. Ready, Dad? Following the cryptic rhymes and riddles, Dad made his way to the washing line, where a trail of glittery footprints led him to a small picnic blanket set up under the clothesline. Ta-da! The girls shouted in unison. Wow! My favorite spot right next to the trampoline and under the washing line, Dad said with a laugh. It sure is a perfect spot for a picnic, especially with this gourmet spread, Bluey said proudly, offering him a sandwich. It was filled with cheese and marshmallows. Very gourmet, Dad sniffed, taking a bite. He made it halfway through the sandwich before setting it down. It's like I left my appetite at the fridge, he said with a chuckle. Then let's go see if there are any clues hidden in the fridge, Bluey suggested, eager to move on to the next part of their Father's Day adventure. As Dad joined the girls in their search, a squadron of ants marched across the picnic basket and disappeared into the long grass. Bluey had one more surprise planned. A cupcake tower in Dad's favorite flavor, chocolate. She carefully arranged the cupcakes, each topped with a hand-drawn smiley face. But as she stepped back to admire her handiwork, crash, the whole thing tumbled over. Oh no, Bluey cried. It's ruined. Nothing's perfect, she wailed, tears threatening to spill.
Ow!
Dad knelt down beside her, his face softening with understanding. Bluey, this day is perfect because it's you, he said, pulling her into a tight hug. Bingo nodded vigorously. Yeah, even the crunchy eggs, she added with a giggle. Dad laughed, his heart swelling with love for his two amazing daughters. Especially the crunchy eggs, he said, kissing Bluey on the head.
Ow.
How about we wash the breakfast dishes together? To Bluey and Bingo, this was the perfect ending to their Father's Day adventure. Later that night, after all the hugs, giggles, and wobbly sandwiches, Dad tucked the girls into bed. Want to hear what makes a perfect day? Bluey and Bingo asked in unison. Yes, Dad replied softly, waking up to my two favorite girls. That's all, he whispered, his eyes twinkling with affection. Even with the glitter in your eggs? Bluey asked sleepily. Especially the glitter, Dad murmured, kissing her forehead. Good night, Dad, Bluey and Bingo whispered in unison. Love you, Dad, replied, his voice thick with emotion. Love you more, kiddo, he added, nuzzling Bluey before turning off the light. As the stars twinkled above, Bluey whispered, I love you, Dad. Love you more, kiddo, he whispered back, his heart overflowing with gratitude for this perfect day. Together they snuggled on the couch under a blanket, while Bingo rested her head on Bluey's shoulder. On the table between them lay the glittery card with a picture of Dad juggling wombats. At their feet, cupcake crumbs crunched softly, adding to the cozy atmosphere of their perfect day together. Thank you for watching this episode of Bluey. If you enjoyed this story, please leave us a like and a comment. What's your favorite memory with your dad? Check out our other videos and subscribe to our channel for more read-alouds. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.